Today you're about to witness the most unexpected encounters imaginable. These moments are so bizarre, you won't be able to guess what's going to happen next. And stick around a beast that is our subscribers' pick of the day. During a digging job in a small village, one worker spotted something weird pushing through the dirt. At first, it was just a strange blue shape, but then it started to move like a snake. Turns out, it was a blue cobra. Extremely rare and unbelievably vibrant. It didn't even look real. The man knew it could be dangerous, so he backed off and called wildlife experts right away. The cobra was safely removed, but locals still talk about that electric blue snake that crawled up from underground. Not a frog. A man found something hopping around inside his house, but it wasn't acting normal. It looked like a frog, sure, but something was off. Its face was weird, and the way it sat didn't match any frog he'd seen before. Then, it started making strange sounds, reacting in a way that freaked him out. People online said it could have been an unknown species. He ended up letting it go outside, but he couldn't stop thinking about what he saw. Was it just a weird frog? Or something completely new? Hellhound sighting. Something wild happened in a mountain area in China. Visitors spotted this huge creature with a face like a werewolf and weird horns sticking out of its back. The craziest part? It was chained up. People were freaking out, thinking it looked exactly like the Hellhound from old legends. Experts showed up fast, saying it might have escaped from a nearby jungle. To keep things from going sideways, authorities locked it up and took it away for study. Since then, locals have been sticking close to the trails, not wanting to bump into any more creepy beasties. Mysterious horses. A wild video shows a group of white horses with wings standing deep in the woods. Like something from a fantasy movie, these creatures looked graceful, unreal, and straight up magical. No one knows where they came from or if they'll ever show up again. Some say they're real, others think it's all edited. But whatever it is, the internet can't stop watching. Alien face catch. A Russian fisherman thought he was reeling in dinner, but instead, he pulled up something straight out of a sci-fi movie. The fish had a weird, puffy body and a face that honestly looked aliens. Some said it might be a lumpfish. Others weren't so sure. Either way, it freaked people out. He kept it as a rare catch, and the town couldn't stop talking about it. Whether it's from deep waters or another planet, one thing's clear: it's not your average fish. Cyclops piglet. A farmer doing his morning check nearly dropped his feed bucket when he saw it. One of his pigs had a single eye in the middle of its face. It moved weird, looked different, and stood out from the rest of the herd. The other pigs avoided it. Was it a birth defect? A mutation? Or something stranger? Whatever it was, the farmer couldn't shake the creepy feeling that this piglet didn't just look off. It was off. Mysterious creature. A hunter deep in the woods caught sight of something straight out of a nightmare. Perched in the trees was a creature with massive bat wings and the body of a raccoon. It didn't fly away. It just stared. Frozen and freaked out, the hunter backed away slowly. Later, he learned it matched the legends of the Vesper Coon, a cryptid said to protect a cursed forest shrine. They say it only shows up when people get too close to secrets they're not meant to find. Since then, that forest path's been empty. No one dares bother whatever ancient power might still be watching. Cave monster. Deep in Kentucky's Mammoth Cave, explorers found something seriously strange. It had a moving face that was totally alive, but looked creepy, kind of like a pill bug, with legs and claws like a crustacean. The explorers said it reminded them of a giant isopod, a freaky deep-sea creature with a hard shell and a prehistoric vibe. But since this one was found in a cave, some wondered if it was a mega insect no one's seen before. Either way, the crew decided to keep it safe and hand it over to scientists to figure out what it really was. Horned danger. In the mountains of Morocco, tourists were soaking in the view when they noticed something slithering on a bench. It was a pale snake with dark patterns and tiny horns sticking from its head. They caught it on video and later found out it was a desert horned viper, normally found in sand dunes, not mountains. So, what was it doing way up there? Experts are just as confused and are now looking into how this desert snake ended up in unfamiliar territory. Snake surprise. Expected ghosts found a massive snake instead. While hiking alone, one man froze when he saw something long and scaly slithering up a tree. It wrapped around the trunk like it belonged there. The way it climbed, so smooth, so fast, sent chills down his spine. It looked like a Burmese python, or maybe a boa. But either way, he wasn't waiting around to ID it. He backed out of there quickly, hoping it stayed high above the ground. Snake Woman. In Manaus, a fisherman got the scare of his life near a quiet lake. While checking his nets, he spotted something that looked like a creature from a dark legend. It had a long, snake-like lower body, but its upper half looked eerily human. The strange being didn't move aggressively, it just stared. The man snapped a few blurry photos and ran. Once online, the internet exploded with theories. Was it a cursed hybrid, a mutated animal, or something more supernatural? Scientists are still trying to identify it, but locals now avoid that lake altogether. They say it's better not to tempt fate. River Phantom. In a quiet Indonesian town, a man walking near the river caught sight of something bizarre swimming through the water. At first, he thought it was a crocodile, but this creature had a long, thin tail, a beak-like mouth, and small wing-like fins on its sides. It looked like something between a bird and a reptile. It moved slowly, like it was used to being there. Then, without warning, it dipped under and vanished into the deeper water. Locals searched but never found it again. Some think it was a lost species, others a river spirit. Either way, it was never seen again. Regretful Touch. While hiking alone in the woods, a man felt something strange, like he was being watched. Suddenly, a small, shadowy creature darted between the trees. It looked unnatural, moving like it didn't belong on Earth. Instead of running, he picked it up. But the second his hands touched it, the creature went still, completely lifeless. At first he thought he imagined it all, but once he brought it home, the dread crept in. He couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed him. Night after night, his house felt colder, darker. That strange creature may have been more than it seemed, and taking it home was a mistake he couldn't undo. Winged Shift. A group of friends were messing around with their new camera, testing the zoom by aiming it at a tall pole in the distance. Nothing weird, until a bird landed on top. At first, it looked normal, but then it started changing. The bird suddenly grew 4 wings, and its body began to shift, almost like something else was crawling out from inside it. The friends froze. Before they could process what was happening, the creature grew larger, then launched itself straight into the sky with impossible speed. The footage? Blurry. The memory? Burned into their minds. That day wasn't just about camera testing. It turned into something unexplainable. Ghost Bird returns. On September 22, 2022, hunters set up a trail camera expecting to catch regular wildlife. But what they found was anything but ordinary. A strange bird walked across the screen. It looked like a pheasant, but different. When they reviewed the footage, their jaws dropped. It was the black-naped pheasant pigeon, a bird no one had seen in over 140 years. Until then, it was practically considered extinct. The discovery sparked a whole new mission to track it down and figure out where it had been hiding all this time. Double head trick. A clip went viral showing what looked like a 2-headed anteater munching on a log. Yeah, it really looked like it had 2 faces. People were confused until the mystery got solved. Turns out, That second head was actually the giant anteater's front limb, covered in fur and natural markings that mimic eyes and a nose. It's a built-in defense trick to confuse predators into attacking the wrong end. Nature's illusions are wild, and this one definitely had folks fooled. Curse caterpillar. Someone spotted a tiny, fuzzy creature crawling over a rock and stopped to take a closer look. It looked cute at first, like a mini furball, but turns out it was a venomous asp caterpillar. According to old local stories, touching one brings years of bad luck. The person kept their distance, snapped a pic, and walked away. But deep down, they couldn't shake the thought. Was it just a caterpillar, or is it something way weirder hiding in plain sight? Truck creature. Locals were left speechless when they saw a massive creature chained to the back of a truck. Its long, thick body was covered in odd, bumpy patterns, and it slithered ever so slightly, making some people back away. Most believed it was a giant green anaconda, one of the largest snakes on Earth. Rumors spread fast. Some thought it had been captured nearby, while others said it was being moved for research. No one really knew where it came from or where it was going. Bald yard visitor. In Richmond, BC, a dad spotted something weird walking across a lawn. It looked like some hairless alien creature crawling on all fours. But when he looked closer, it was actually a raccoon, completely bald. Experts say it was likely suffering from a severe skin issue. The poor thing was rescued and taken to a wildlife center for help. It shocked people at first, but the good news is, with proper care, there's a chance the little guy could bounce back. Maggot Beast. While walking across a bridge, a local glanced down into a quiet pond and froze. Something was wriggling just beneath the surface. It looked like a giant maggot, with pale, bloated skin and a long, whip-like tail. It moved slowly, almost like it didn't belong there. Some who saw the video thought it might be a sea cucumber, but this pond wasn't near the ocean. It stayed visible for a while, then slipped beneath the water and vanished. No one's seen it since. To this day, nobody knows if it was a rare aquatic creature or something much stranger hiding in plain sight. Feathered oddity. While checking on his birdcage, a farm owner spotted something sitting silently on top of it, and it wasn't one of his birds. The creature had a long neck, bright, colorful fur, and eyes that looked far too intelligent. It didn't match any species he recognized. He guessed it could be a heron, but deep down, it felt older, almost prehistoric. Maybe something ancient had wandered out of the nearby woods. It didn't seem scared, just watchful. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it flew off. The owner was left staring at the sky, wondering what else could be hiding out there. Hairless Freak. In a quiet village, a local stumbled across a creature that gave him chills. At first, he thought it was just a monkey, but it had no fur. Its skin was bare, pale, and its fingers looked way too long. Its eyes, big and wide, like it had seen things no one should. Not long after, a nearby zoo reported seeing similar hairless apes. Some said it could be a disease. Others whispered about crossbreeding, or even lab testing gone wrong. Something strange was going on, and no one had answers. Cyclops Shark. A fisherman off the coast of California pulled up his net and almost dropped it in shock. Inside was a small shark, white, ghostly, and with only one giant eye right in the middle of its face. It looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. He learned it was a real, though extremely rare, albino Cyclops shark. It had two wild conditions: albinism, which made it look pale and unnatural, and cyclopia, which gave it just one eye. Most people fear sharks, but this one didn't bring fear. It brought questions. What else could be lurking in the ocean's deep, dark corners? Witchy Owl. A group of friends dared to explore an old abandoned house looking for some thrill, but in a dark corner, they spotted something way creepier than they expected. A weird owl with its head twisting all weird and unnatural. Right away, they freaked out, thinking it might be a witch trapped in owl form. You know how those spooky places are always rumored to have witches or ghosts lurking around? Not wanting to test their luck, they bounced fast. Sometimes curiosity isn't worth it when a creepy owl is watching you like that. Creepy caterpillar. Walking down the street, a teenager caught sight of a caterpillar that looked off. It wasn't just any caterpillar, it had this super weird, almost human-like face. Naturally, he whipped out his phone and started filming. The video blew up online, and people went wild wondering if it was some mutant freak. But a zoologist cleared it up. This was actually a rare caterpillar species that uses its freaky, human-like features to scare off predators. Nature's got some wild tricks, huh? Definitely not your everyday bug. Mystery Kiwi. One day, a local was strolling near the woods when he got this weird feeling like someone or something was watching him. Suddenly, a strange bird popped out from the trees. It had a long beak and was making noises that sounded totally alien. Turns out, it wasn't just any bird. It was a kiwi. Yeah, that rare, flightless bird from New Zealand that you don't usually see chilling in random woods. Pretty wild to bump into such a rare creature without warning. The forest really does hide some surprises. Still forest watcher. A group of hikers spotted something that didn't belong. At first glance, it looked like a monkey crouched on a tree. But as they got closer, things got weirder. It wasn't a monkey, the way it sat, the shape of its body. It looked like a Sasquatch. Frozen in place, the creature seemed to be watching them. They didn't hear a sound, but the moment stuck with them. This might have been one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings ever, if that's really what it was. Face spider. In a quiet garden in Japan, a woman came across something straight out of a dream. Or maybe a nightmare. It was a spider, but its back had a pattern that looked exactly like a little human face. Weirdly, it wasn't scary. It was kinda cute. The spider turned out to be part of a species known for its colorful looks. But this one? Rare, bold, and unforgettable. Not dangerous, just naturally strange. Seethrough anomaly. You've seen frogs, but not like this. A viral clip showed one with totally clear skin. You could see its heart beating, liver pulsing, and everything else inside. It looked unreal, but it's very real. This rare frog uses its see-through skin to hide in plain sight. It's not just creepy and cool, it's genius. Nature went full stealth mode with this one. Mutant shark pup. One fisherman was just doing his thing, reeling in what he thought would be a normal catch. Instead, he pulled up a shark. Nothing too crazy, until he cut it open. Inside were 3 babies, and one of them looked nothing like the others. It was a mutated shark pup. Odd shape, weird features. Something out of a sci-fi movie. The man didn't freak out though. He actually saw it as a lucky sign. Human-faced fish. Thought goldfish were boring? Not this one. In South Korea, a guy filmed his pet goldfish and it looked like it had a human face. Not even joking. It had eye-like spots, a nose shape, and an expression that was way too close to humans. The neighbors were low-key freaked out, but also kinda obsessed. Some called it cute, others said, nope, absolutely not. The owner kept it quiet for a while, but once the video dropped, the internet lost it. Demon-eyed creature. Deep in the forest, a researcher ran into a creature that didn't even look real. It had big, glowing eyes, ears too big for its head, and this long, creepy finger it used to poke around in trees. Sounds like something out of a nightmare. but it's real. It was an eye found in Madagascar. Locals believe they bring bad luck. So yeah, people stay far away. But this one, it just walked right up and sniffed the guy's shoe like it owned the place. Tree bird trick. A photographer was snapping nature pics when he reached out to touch what looked like a rough tree knot. But surprise, it moved. That knot was actually a perfectly camouflaged Potu bird and its chick. Their feathers matched the tree so well, you'd never know they were there unless they blinked. It was straight up wild. This wasn't just a cool bird, it was nature's version of stealth mode, and it worked like a charm. Humanoid monkey. At a zoo in China, people weren't looking at lions or tigers. They were staring at a monkey. But not just any monkey. This one had a face that looked human, like almost too human. It had this tired, kinda sad expression that made people stop in their tracks. The photo blew up online. Some said it looked like it had just filed taxes or been through a breakup. Turns out, the poor guy's 19 and hasn't found a mate, which might explain the vibes. But still, something about it felt strange, like there was more going on behind those eyes. Gremlin cat. This pet looked straight out of Fantasyland. A guy had a cat, but this wasn't your average fluffy friend. Its ears were massive, and its face looked exactly like Gizmo from Gremlins. People couldn't believe it was real. Some thought it was a new breed. Others said it could be a mutation. Whatever it was oddly adorable and a little unsettling. The internet fell in love instantly. Just goes to show, your next pet might not be cute in the normal way, but in the what even is that way. Creepy owl. One night, a guy spotted something perched on his backyard wall. Looked like a bird, but something was off. When it turned its head, chills ran down his spine. It had the face of an owl, but not like any owl you would ever want to meet. Something in its eyes felt wrong. He backed away fast and went inside. Whether it was a weird new species or something way more paranormal, he didn't care. Some birds you admire. This one, you lock the door and pretend you never saw it. Uncanny cat. The internet went wild over a cat that looked totally normal except for its face. This feline had eyes and an expression that looked almost human. People couldn't stop staring at its creepy, almost witchy vibe. What made it even weirder was that its siblings looked totally normal, so no one knows why this one's face was so different. Some joked it might be a witch in disguise. The mystery just keeps growing. Who knows what other strange creatures are out there hiding in plain sight? This cat's got everyone guessing what's next. Owl-eared mystery. In the quiet village of Titabar, Assam, something strange showed up that had everyone talking. A bird was spotted, but not just any bird. This one had big ears, an unusual body shape, and gave off mysterious vibes. Locals had never seen anything like it. Some even thought it was an omen or magical creature. But once forest officials checked it out, they confirmed it was a great-eared nightjar, a super rare bird almost never seen in that area. The villagers helped rescue it, and soon it was on its way to Kaziranga National Park. Human dog.
Yogi bear, see? Oh, he just winked.
Meet Yogi, the dog that practically broke the internet. At first glance, he looks normal, but then you see his face. His wide, almond-shaped eyes and oddly human expression have people doing double takes. Some thought the photo was fake or edited. Others joked he might be part human, but nope. Yogi's just a real, adorable pup with a seriously unique look. His owner says he's as playful and goofy as any other dog. Still, his human-like face gives off serious, uncanny valley vibes.
Yogi bear, see? Oh, he just winked.
Sewer watcher. While fixing a broken water pipe underground, a worker spotted something chilling. Hidden behind the tangled pipes, two glowing eyes stared straight at him. When he shined his flashlight, he saw a creature with black and white stripes, a rodent-like face, and bird-like claws. It didn't move. It just watched. Freaked out, the worker backed away and called for backup. Rumors started spreading fast. Some claimed it had escaped from a secret nearby lab known for testing weird hybrids. Since that day, the sewer's been a no-go zone. Workers now avoid going alone, just in case that strange creature is still down there. Forest Freak. A trail cam in the woods recorded footage showing a small, mouse-sized creature, but not a normal one. Its eyes glowed bright, and it had tiny, sharp teeth that didn't match anything known. Its movements were jerky, like it wasn't used to walking on land. Some think it might be a prehistoric species thought to be extinct, while others believe it could be a weird mutation caused by something in the area. Mothman Call. After weeks of planning, a group of friends went deep into the woods one night, chasing the legend of Mothman. They found an old, oddly shaped rock and placed specific stones on top, just like their research said. Minutes later, it happened. A huge, dark figure with glowing red eyes appeared on the hill. It didn't look human. It didn't even look real. The group stood in silence, frozen with fear. The figure stared for a moment, then vanished, gone without a trace. They came looking for a myth, but ended up face to face with something straight out of nightmares. Some stories maybe aren't meant to be proven. Owl Omen. In a quiet Romanian town, a boy was walking home late one night after work. Just as he turned the corner, he froze. Perched on the roof of a nearby house was a massive owl, huge, silent, and watching. It looked exactly like the ones he'd seen in old Romanian folklore. According to legend, a giant owl on a rooftop means something bad is about to happen. He didn't wait to find out what. Heart racing, he rushed home, feeling like the darkness was pressing in around him. Whether it was a warning or just coincidence, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming, and maybe it already was. Silent Watcher. A man in a small California town went out to explore the nearby woods for a change of scenery. Hours passed, and he wandered deeper than planned. That's when he saw it, sitting calmly on a tree limb. Like it had always belonged there, was Bigfoot. It wasn't angry or running, just watching, breathing, existing. The man didn't move. For a moment, neither did the creature. Then, without a word or sound, he slowly backed away. No phone, no photo, just memory. He's always wondered, did Bigfoot see him too, or was it already waiting? The woods never felt the same after that. Subscriber pick. A jaw-dropping video went viral recently, showing a massive green patterned snake that looked straight out of a horror movie. But this giant isn't fake. She's real, and her name is Medusa. This 25-foot-long reticulated python has been freaking people out and fascinating them since 1978 at a haunted attraction in Kansas City. Originally found in Florida, Medusa was brought in and quickly became a legend. Her huge size isn't just rare, it's record-breaking. Experts say pythons from Sulawesi Island, where she's from, are known to grow huge. And with her eerie stare and massive body, Medusa isn't just a snake, she's a living nightmare come to life.
Snakes are magnificent animals. She's a record setter. I'm very proud of her. I'd love to see her continue to do well. She will never be mistreated, and come to the edge of hell and get to meet her.